Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a full moon reading for February 5th, 2023, approximately 1:29 p.m. Eastern Time.
As the snow falls, I call on you. You can whisper.
So today I'm going to be using the Wild Goddess Oracle and the Light Seers Tarot. So we're just going to get these shuffled. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Darienne. My channel name is Darienne Empire. I am many things. I am a professional spiritual coach. I'm a clairvoyant energy reader and healer. I do business coaching. I've been in the game quite a while. I've had this channel actually for 10 years. I just realized that. I think 2013 is when I started the channel. So if you're new, subscribe. If we still have a bell, is there still a bell? You can hit the bell for notifications. If you have been following me for a long time, it's been a while. I was just on the channel last month, or actually it might have been the end of December, where I did a live reading for the full year. So if you want to watch that, you can go see the full year reading. And I've been off of the channel. I ran the channel for about 5 years, every single week. And then I just had a lot going on in my life. And so the last few years, I've just been going through a lot. And so I'm slowly coming back to the channel. I thank you for your patience and for your continued support. I know a lot of you were with me, when the pandemic hit, I was doing a lot of Facebook Lives, just kind of keeping up morale for people. And the last few years, I've been in a lot of different schools, energy healing schools, and just learning, clairvoyant schools, channeling certifications, all sorts of things. So, I haven't been in the background doing nothing, but I've been in the background. So, stick around. And I will be slowly returning. I'm just taking my time, just slowly coming back, doing what's best for me, my mental health, and my own personal well-being. And here I am. Okay, let's get this all situated. So the first thing that I'm seeing, just clairvoyantly right off the bat, is that this full moon, there's an opportunity for blooming. I see a lot of people blooming, and I see the vision I'm getting is actually people blooming sort of out of their old, it's almost like shedding old skin, almost like the vision of the snake shedding old skin. But I see your current life, and just like lots of junk. I see lots of junk around you, and this blossoming happening, almost like you're cracking out of the shell, and the shell is your current kind of stagnant life. It's kind of this life that you've been living for a while now, and it's just old. It's just old. It's kind of stuck, and it's just old. So, we'll get this one. So for the overall theme from the Wild Goddess Oracle, we've got the Inventor. That's a cute card. And on the back it says, this is a good time to amplify your focus and to clear and purify space in your world and in your mind to make way for something new. So if you follow any pagan traditions, we just had February 2nd, we had in bulk. And in bulk is all about like clearing, literally spring cleaning, sort of clearing out the old stuff from the winter. And so this is sort of right in alignment with that. And I love that it's the inventor, because it's not just clearing stuff out. It's not just purifying your mind and your physical things, but you're doing it for a reason. You're doing it because of that blossoming, because of what you're blossoming into, or because of what you're calling in now, what you're attracting now, what you're vibrating with now. So let's ask a couple questions from the Lightseers Tarot. First, I want to know, what are we releasing? And what is this helping us release? Oh, we got the 3 of Cups. Could we be releasing some old friends? Could we be reworking? I kind of see us reworking our friend circle, kind of shifting around. And when I say shifting around, it's like some are gonna kind of move to the background a little bit, and some are coming towards us a little bit. And how we come together with our friends, and how we celebrate ourselves, and how we used to solve problems, because the 3 of Cups is also about problem solving. How we used to solve problems, it just isn't working. It isn't working for us. So I can kind of see some of you, it's like you and your girlfriends might have hung out, and you might have like gone to the club back in the day, and that was the way your friendships were. That was how your friendships were identified. And now they've shifted so much, and maybe there's some, last little bits that still gotta go. Like maybe it's time to kind of reinvent old relationships, or redefine old friendships. Yeah. I'm just gonna get a clarifier for that too. Yeah, 5 of Swords. So we could have some friendships that were causing us some turmoil and some stress, and like, do we really need that in our lives? And also, again, the way we were solving problems just wasn't, you're at a point now where it's creating more problems for you. If you're trying to solve problems in the way you used to solve problems, it's only creating more turmoil, more inner quarrels, and even quarrels in between you and friendships, right? And also, just me in my own personal life, I know that there's some friendships where there's been some struggle, and it's time for me to talk to them, So that's kind of what's coming up here too. It's like, yeah, it's time to maybe talk to those friends, or talk to those people in your life, and have that conversation that will shift the way the friendship goes. And it will begin to shift the way the friendship goes. It's interesting because oftentimes we're so afraid to tell people how we really feel. And we feel like, it's very common for us to feel like, oh, if this person isn't aligning nowadays, we just have to cut them out of our lives. But sometimes, if a friend is a really good friend and really has the potential to, I have lifelong friends where I could have a conversation with them, and instead of it being like, oh, we've just grown apart, we're not friends anymore. Well, actually, I could have a conversation that could redefine our friendship, where we grow together, where we shift, we take a pivot, and we move in another direction. It may be that for you guys during this full moon. Okay. So how's the full moon helping us? We have got the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. New beginnings in the physical world. You might even notice with this Ace of Pentacles, oftentimes you kind of notice some physical synchronicities when we get this card. Let's get a clarifier. The Fool. The Fool tells us to go for it. Whew, there's kind of an exhilarating feeling that I'm getting right now where it's like, follow those little synchronicities, and the Fool doesn't question. The Fool just goes for it. And the Fool is, both of these are about a new beginning. So the aces are all about new beginnings, and the Fool is about, the Fool's journey is about you're setting out on a whole nother journey. And it begins with the Fool because you don't know what you will know at the end of this journey, right? So there's some chapters, some new chapters are opening up for you guys. And it could be in these friendships, it could be in these relationships, and it could be in how you solve problems. Like, I really just see you guys blooming into something new, reevaluating, reworking how you used to do things and just doing it differently. Like, there's definitely a lot of perspective change that's already happening. And now's the time during this full moon to apply those perspective changes. It's like, if you've already gotten that new perspective, you sometimes, like on my healing journey, I've been on this for a long time. 2009 is when I had my spiritual awakening, and I, chose a spiritual path and been on this journey since then. And there's this really fun time where you get this new perspective and it's eye-opening. And then you have the fun part of like, oh my gosh, how can I apply that to all the different parts of my life? So you get to apply it to, I get to apply it to, my romantic partnership, or this specific aspect of my romantic partnership, or how I used to move in the world in my career, or, my friendships, or how I think about this and how I think about that. And when you have that perspective shift, it's such a beautiful thing, because you realize that the whole purpose of life and growth and being on a spiritual path is never really about it's not a physical journey. Sometimes you take a physical journey, but it's not about a physical journey. It's about sitting right where you are and taking a mental journey and being on the other side of something mentally, and being able to look at all the things that have maybe always been in your life, or all the things in the world, and realizing that now that you've got this new perspective, it evolves right before your eyes. And so this potential for evolution in these friendships is what's looking like is really the opportunity that we're getting for this full moon. All right, so what to expect in the future that will be affected by this full moon? Oh my gosh. Ooh, interesting. So we've got the Magician. I mean, obviously, this is, what I see is this new perspective. When you apply this new perspective and this shift, in this mental shift that you guys have made, when you apply it to these aspects of your life during this full moon, it kind of triggers this, I've watched my magic come into play. So it's one thing to have this physical mindset shift. It's another thing to apply it and see it play out, like how it could potentially change your friendships. And there's this opportunity here for getting that like outside validation. And I don't mean outside as in like people giving you validation, but that physical manifestation, being the validation of your own magic. Like, wow, my mind in this way can actually change the physical world, the physical relationships, the relationships I have with other people, the way things, it's like the reshaping of my mind can actually physically reshape the world. And I know that these are concepts that we know. If you're watching this, you probably already know that manifesting is a thing and yada, yada, yada. But like, the most important part of practicing manifestation is convincing yourself that it's actually real. I mean, that's the hardest part about it, I think, is convincing yourself that, whoa, I can have a thought and I can have a mental shift and I can watch it change the physical world around me. And so this kind of gives you this confidence, right? It gives you this kind of new confidence of like, I can do this. I've done it once, I can do it again, you know? And that's a really cool thing. But the interesting thing that it comes with, the card it comes with, is the Seven of Swords. Whoa. What an interesting thing. So the Seven of Swords can be seen in many different ways. I often see it as being willing to take a risk of losing something or harming someone or yourself for sort of the greater good, or for something that will benefit you the most. And so what I'm seeing this as, potentially something like setting boundaries. Setting boundaries can be something that's really difficult, and it can seemingly hurt the feelings of some people that we might love. But in the long run, we know that it's for our greatest good. And that's the clarifier for this Magician card. So maybe after this full moon, if we tune into this energy, maybe do a ritual, maybe be really intentional about what we want this full moon to help us with, maybe light a candle, maybe write down, however you tune into the full moon, and can be really intentional. There's that potential for maybe after this, I will find more confidence in my magic and in who I am, and be able to then set boundaries easily, or more easily, with some friendships or with some people in my life. Maybe I want to shift more relationships in my life. Maybe I realize that, oh my God, that really benefited me. Like when you have, I've had a lot of really, really unhealthy and toxic people in my life, and a lot of really toxic relationships, but I've also had a lot of really healthy ones. And when you have the courage and you're brave enough to have those conversations they're difficult conversations where you have to be really, 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 really honest, and you know that it could potentially hurt that person. And if that person is not in a healthy place, they could use it against you. They could, be really toxic about it. They could not choose, even though we're on a spiritual path, not everybody is. And some of those people we love very dearly, but there's something so beautiful when you take that risk and then you realize that there are some people in your life, hopefully, there are some people in your life where you can be honest, and they have a common goal that you have, which is that goal of harmony, of friendship, of growing together. And they're willing, and they're in the right place in their life where, it's kind of like, oh, I didn't know that was important to you. And wow, I'm really, I can see that now, and I'll shift the way I've been doing things, and I won't do that thing again, or I'll start doing this more. And, it can potentially make you feel like, wow, I'm allowed to ask for what I need and actually get it. Doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's going to do that all the time, but I do see this kind of confidence coming up for you guys. So let's see if there's any final messages. Six of Cups. Once again, Six of Cups is about the past, nostalgia, could be friendships, old friendships. Let's get a clarifier. Seven of Wands, quite interesting. So the Seven of Wands is really about, I don't want to say being above people, but there's this perception that, the Seven of Wands could be that maybe you've risen above, and there are people that want to be where you are, and maybe they're not, Wow. What I'm seeing is if friendships is a big thing for you for this full moon, and not even just friendships, but like who you are and how you show up in your friendships and in your relationships. But what I see as this final message is if you can understand the possibility that you may be in a different place than your friends in your relationships, and there's a little bit of a risk, right? Like your friends might expect you to be the Six of Cups, which is what you've always been. And you're kind of like, yeah, I'm above that. And I'd like to take you with me. I'd like to elevate our friendships and our relationships. And what I sense in you guys is that there's this willingness to lose. There's that Seven of Swords again. There's a willingness to lose. The willingness to lose the relationship. Because in a way, you have to lose the old relationships and the old ways of thinking, and you have to be willing to let go of those in order to elevate. And it doesn't mean that you're not bringing that beautiful nostalgia of the old relationship with you. It's just, it's just like when I talked in the beginning of the video about when you shift your perception about things and you realize that a spiritual journey is not about a physical journey, it's about a mental shift. And then you look at the same things that have always been in your life and they don't go anywhere, but your perspective helps them to evolve. And so this is that potential. There are so many things that have been in your life for a very, very long time, things that connect you to your childhood that have the potential to grow into something new, to blossom, to evolve, not to leave it behind, but to allow some old things to be left behind within that relationship or within that version of you so that you can now evolve into something new. So you're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You're growing. And growth is so fun. It really is. When you experience the reward of growth, the growth period isn't always fun. That can be really, really difficult because we don't want to let go of certain things and we go through those growing pains. But once we can apply our own growth in a positive way to the things that already exist in our lives and allow those things to grow with us and allow those people to grow with us, right? It's beautiful. Like there are some people, I know that it's so common for us to talk about, not us, but in the spiritual community and mental health community, it's so common to talk about cutting out toxic people. And sometimes, yeah, you do have to cut out toxic people. I've done that. I've cut out a lot of toxic people. People who refuse to grow with you. But there are people who aren't toxic. Maybe you're just stuck in old patterns and you can have a conversation with, and they will grow with you. And you can say, hey, I've noticed, I know that we used to do things this way, but maybe I don't want to be there for you in that way. Now I want to be there for you in this way. And I want to show up in that way rather than the way I used to show up. And, and there could even be some old patterns kind of going on with the Six of Cups in your current relationships. And this full moon would be a beautiful opportunity for you to say, hey, I don't want to do it that way anymore. I don't want to approach this. I don't want to dance that dance with you. I want to dance the rumba now. We've been dancing the waltz, and now I want to dance the rumba. And there are some people in your life that might actually dance the rumba with you. And those toxic people are the ones that have been dancing the waltz with you your whole life, and they don't know anything other than the waltz. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense at all. All right. So I think that we can end it there. And yeah. So thank you so much for being here with me. Again, subscribe to the channel. I will slowly be coming back. If you would like to get a reading or a healing from me, I do tarot readings, I do clairvoyant energy readings and healings over on my website at DarienneEmpire.com. You can actually get 10% off if you subscribe to the newsletter. So you'll get 10% off your first order. I am going to be shifting, if I haven't done it already, on my website right now for the clairvoyant energy readings and healings. There are only 30-minute readings available. What I'm going to be doing is making hour-long readings and healings available. And I'm probably also going to be doing, just for those of you that would like the price to be a little bit cheaper, I might be doing audios where I'm only going to be sending you audios. I'm not going to be actually meeting with you. And you can order that for a much cheaper price if that's something that is an issue for you, because I really want to make this service available to as many people as I can. So in that instance, it would just be, you just get an audio recording, where in the other ones, we would be doing a one-on-one video chat session. And then you would also be getting an audio recording. So kind of something for everybody. Head over to DarienneEmpire.com for that. Again, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Have a beautiful full moon in February. Bye, guys.
You can whisper softly, I still hear you. Black sky, moonlight, magic.